The first project to do the presentation is ATTRACT-EMDOI from Bern University of Applied Sciences.
Would you please, yes. I need the slide, please. Yes, thank you very much. My name is Claudia Werker. I'm an associate professor at Delft University of Technology. It might be good to know that my two colleagues from Bern University of Applied Science will join later on. I present this project on socioeconomic factors, and we concentrate particularly on entrepreneurial mindset, diversity of research teams, and open innovation practices, because we want to understand how attract innovative ecosystems work. And these three factors seem to be the driving forces behind that. So in the light of what was just said before, we will, of course, look into the technological projects within ATTRACT to figure this out and measure that, also with interviews, but also with hardcore quantitative measurement. And then we will, based on that, advise governance and management. Most particularly, we want to look into what researchers, businesses, entrepreneurs, firms can learn from our insights regarding entrepreneurial mindset, diversity of research teams, and open innovation practices, but also from bottom up, so to speak, from a perspective of teams and individuals, what policy makers can learn from our insights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christine. The next project is behavioral training for ERI scientists for open innovation from the alma mater Storium of the University of Bologna.
Good morning again. We were really interested in understanding new ways to help scientists to be more prone to collaboration with external parties, and therefore to promote open innovation in a research center. And we collaborated with a group of psychologists to develop together psychological flexibility training pack so that research center can help scientists develop a new attitude and a new set of skills towards how to collaborate. Because what we realize is that most of the issues that we observe, like not invented here or not solved here, are based on attitude that we think are innate, but actually could be trained and developed over, experience and time. So if this experiment is successful, then we will create a service pack training so that this experiment could actually be scaled up to other research centers. We're looking for projects that are willing to experiment with us, and research centers, that are connected to ATTRACT that would like to help their scientists to develop those skills.
Thank you, Matteo.
Okay.
And next project is CASEIA, Comparative Analysis of Socio-Economic Impact from the Faculty of Antiproton and Ion Research in Europe.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all today. My name is Sonja Uterman, and I'm representing the CASEIA project. Our partners are the Facility for Antiproton and Ion Research in Europe. So this is a particle accelerator being built in Darmstadt. We also have the Human Sciences Research Council from South Africa, represented by two people here today. Fraunhofer ISI, this is an institute that does research on innovation and innovation theory and practice. And then we also have a private consultancy company, Stein, Weiss, Nordost. So hello to all of you today. Our academic approach is, so now to say this, we're trying to pose in the whole of ATTRACT very, very large questions. You know, what is this magic ingredient? Where does an idea suddenly, where is this tipping point? But we can't ask a question that large in this time and on this budget. So our first challenge was to put some boundaries on this problem. So our method is to actually a comparative case study. We have two very similar technical projects, both to do with FAIR, they're detectors for FAIR. One of them received ATTRACT funding and one of them didn't. So this is the methodology. We're going to use interviews because we're interested in narratives, not just numbers. Our academic approach is very similar to Claudia Werker's in ATTRACT-EMDOI. We're interested in the CHESPER approach, innovation ecosystems, but also we want to apply the social learning cycle. So it's not just the passage of knowledge through the ecosystem, but what form that knowledge has at a given time. Very interested in collaborating with, spontaneously I thought of CORE and ATTRACT-EMDOI, and also some student programs. I was interested in Porga's Sugar and Ramon's Tesi. So let's get in touch and find out how we can have a greater impact with our studies by collaborating. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. The next project to present is Compute Impact.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Yes. So, well, my name is Laia Pujol. I am a postdoc at the ESA Business School, and I'm excited to be here and to present the project. So, Compute Impact is a project that is born from the work of a team at the ESA Business School led by Jonathan Warham. Angelo is also there. Then professors, so myself at the ESA, but also Samila. Collaboration with Hila Lifshitz Asaf from NYU, from Stern School of Business, but currently moving to Warwick, and also Embel EBI. Let me share, so what's the main idea behind? So basically, there's a rich tradition of research infrastructures of creating and sharing public data sets that are highly valuable, but traditional studies on the technology transfer mostly really capture basically how industry is benefiting from this kind of public data sets and computational tools that research infrastructures are developing. So what's our main goal? So we want basically to understand how industry is reusing this kind of data set through two settings. So we are going to study, because this is like a huge question, so we are going to focus on open targets, which is a public-private partnership, and then AlphaFold, which had a collaboration with Embel EBI. And what we're going to try is to characterize basically how companies around these their ecosystems are reusing the data and tools, and basically to understand the flows, the paths, the trajectories of this kind of data through commercialization, patent, etc. So why we think it's important? So it's not only, we are mostly management scholars, so to understand like these tech transfer new models emerging, but also for policymakers to holistically assess the impact that research infrastructures have beyond the traditional economic measures. We are going to be contacting drug discovery startups, pharma companies, intermediaries, so basically working or offering products and services on top of this kind of public data sets, and pharma R&D consortia. We are very excited about the project. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks a lot, Laia. The next project to present is CORE from Aalto University.
Hi, we are experiencing a little trouble. Vicky was just kicked out, so I am just ad hoc taking over. My name is Senni Kirjavainen, and I'm one of the researchers at Aalto Design Factory. And the core project is done in collaboration with Aalto University, so us and Delft University of Technology. And there we are looking at the capability development of these kind of open and responsible innovation ecosystems. So looking at how do these innovation ecosystems contribute to building micro-level social capabilities, and how do these kind of ecosystems affect innovation, collaboration, and creating this kind of practices for collaboration. Also, we are going to be looking at how do these different actors in these ecosystems identify different kinds of opportunities for innovations. And then we are going to look at knowledge flow and how the interaction is structured in the ATTRACT networks. So yeah, this is something that kind of touches the all different kinds of consortium members and different projects. So we are developing this kind of, or aiming at developing this kind of wider understanding of the whole ATTRACT ecosystem, and how that kind of, how everything we all do affects the future of innovation and innovation capabilities. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thanks a lot, Senni. The next project to present is ExSACT from the Institute Joseph Stefan.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Tomáš Lutman. I'm coming from Center for Technology Transfer and Innovation at Joseph Stefan Institute. So in this project, we will, together with Faculty of Information Studies in Novo Mesto, we will explore state aid rules in the terms of cooperation between research organizations and the industry. So we will focus on two main things here, on the intellectual property rights and research infrastructure. So this is because in this kind of cooperation, sometimes companies expect that they will get intellectual property rights for free or for a very low price, and this has been dealt for a longer period. And in 2014, European Commission has communicated new sets of rules in this field. So we will go into deep and review these rules and develop the procedures for more efficient cooperation in this kind of projects. And one important aspect is, of course, the value of intellectual property and value of research infrastructure renting. So we will propose some procedures to evaluate this. And after the end of the project, I mean, towards the end of the project, we'll propose also some suggestions for changing these rules or improving procedures at research organizations or different agencies. So who are we interested to contact? We would like to exchange our research or thoughts with other experts in this field of state aid rules. And of course, we would like to exchange our thoughts with the research organizations and companies that are cooperating with each others and facing these rules. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. The next project to present is Next from Nesta.
Yeah, so I'm substituting for them again. In ATTRACT, we have a lot of support activities, right? Like different workshops and different support programs. But how do we know that they actually work? In medicine, we have this idea of randomized controlled trials wherein one group receives treatment and another group doesn't receive it as the control. So the idea is this idea of doing RCTs have become more common in economics and also in innovation. And so our ambitious project is to try to do some randomized control trials within ATTRACT. Our project is coordinated by NESTA and the Innovation Growth Labs, which specialize in this approach. And it's also, and we also have Barcelona School of Economics, ESADE Business School, and IESE from Spain, helping this type of activity to in the pursuit of this activity. So in terms of the actual intervention, this is still something that we have to discuss with the stakeholders within the project. But the idea there is maybe we can do some intervention to spark interest from researchers to engage in commercialization, maybe randomize mentorship or workshops to see whether these actually work and like what kind of impacts do they have to the different R&D and I teams. And seeing also like how can we support product development or customer validation, what kinds of interventions or treatments can help in these activities. As a very ambitious kind of activity, we will really need the support of everyone. So from the ATTRACT stakeholders, the project teams, to see what they will be really interested in testing, whether they work or not. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Angelo. And the final project in this series is NEXTGEN TECH-ED.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Marloes Blankenstein. I work as an assistant professor at Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. I'm presenting this project here today about tech entrepreneurship, science-based tech entrepreneurship. I work at Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam, the division Science, Business and Innovation, and our partner is the Universiteit Twente, the Entrepreneurship and Technology Management Group. The project contributes to the development of the didactics of science-based entrepreneurship education through collecting best practices at both universities in the field of entrepreneurship education. And we also want to develop a method to develop a systematic understanding of the contribution of this type of education to the innovation ecosystem. We're working, for example, with lots of internships whereby students, get engaged with being entrepreneurial in the context of technological innovation. What do they do there, and how can we understand the impact that they create by doing these internships? So we're looking for best practices at both universities, and we want to be inspired by our colleagues, of course. And specific ATTRACT projects that drew our attention were the EMDOI project that was presented here by Claudia Walker today, which is interested in the entrepreneurial mindset. Also interesting for us is the psychological flexibility perspective adopted in the behavioral open innovation project. And ExSACT also has an interest in the effect of organizations on ecosystems related to technological innovation. When looking at the first phase of ATTRACT, we're interested in projects that are currently in the business of upscaling their technologies. That would provide context for us to indeed test our didactics in terms of science-based entrepreneurship indeed. Type of organizations that we are interested in are, of course, organizations involved in science and tech-based entrepreneurship education. We've seen quite a few today of them here, and interested in working together with small, medium enterprises, private partners, organizations involved in technology valorization and R&D for sustainable technological innovation. Thank you, and we're very much looking forward to executing this project.